Hey there, it's Coach Bradley T. Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered what exactly are college coaches looking for in their softball recruits? Well, if you've ever asked that question, you've come to the right place because I've got the answers for you. In the fall of 2003, I reached out to hundreds of college coaches from the NCAA, NAIA, and the junior college ranks to find out what are they looking for in their standout college recruits. I heard back from 106 of them, and I've compiled the responses and summarized them here in the rest of this video so that you can stop wondering what exactly are college coaches looking for. College coaches get inundated with hundreds, if not thousands, of requests on a weekly basis from players who want to play for their program. In order for you to truly stand out, you have to have the skills and abilities that these college coaches are looking for. And I want to underline one of the things that I just said, which is stand out. When I reached out to these college coaches, I specifically asked them, what are you looking for in standout recruits? We're not talking about run-of-the-mill players that are just roster fillers for them, but we're talking about the players that they're definitely going to be responding to and likely offering a scholarship to at some point in time. Thank you to all the coaches who responded to my inquiry and took the time out of their day to answer my email or field my phone call. So without further ado, now we're going to get into what the results were. In the responses from these 106 college coaches, there were some common themes that came up time and time again. It didn't matter if it was an NCAA Division I coach, a Division III coach, a junior college coach, an NAIA coach. The common themes came up so consistently that I have to address them here. And there's three main things that college coaches are looking for. Number one, probably the most important one, is the question of, can you help them win games at their level? This is something that most youth players don't really understand. They think that it's because they want to play for the school, that the school is going to want them. That's not how this works. The college coach is looking at you to evaluate if you're going to be an impact player for them potentially one day down the line. They don't want to be looking for roster fillers. They're looking for players that can make an impact at some point in years 2 through 4. College coaches want players that can help them win games. Most college coaches are evaluated heavily by whether or not they are winning games for the school. If you can't help them win games one day, it's going to be very hard to make a justifiable case that you should be on their team. So, how do you know if you have what it takes to play at their level? That's a very important question that's very difficult to answer. But I'm going to start off by giving you a little bit of a dose of reality right now, and it might feel like a cold shower for some of you, so brace yourselves. What these college coaches are looking for is if you can play at their level, not at your current level. If you are in grades 10, 11, and 12, and you are a very good player at your level, the dose of reality that I'm about to give you is that on college rosters, every single player that's on a college roster was one of, if not the, best player on their high school or club ball team. The competition is very stiff, and one of the things that I heard back from these college coaches time and time again is that every single player that they have on their college roster was one of the best players on their club ball team or their high school team. So separating yourselves from that is extremely difficult. And a side note, to further illustrate this, of my 106 responses that I got back, not a single coach said that they want to see any of your high school stats or what championships or tournaments you may have won. That's not to say that those things aren't important to you in your development as you go forward, but when it comes time to being recruited from a college roster, it's just not that big of a deal. With this in mind, how do you actually find out if you can play at the next level? Well, one of the simpler ways is to challenge yourself in your club ball or your high school seasons by challenging yourself against the best players and the best teams that you can possibly find. One of the easy ways to actually do this is play up an age group. If you're in grade 10, challenge yourselves once in a while to play some teams that are from grade 11 or grade 12, and you'll start to see where you stack up. You'll also start to get a better understanding because some of those players will have already made a commitment to some college teams. So you can start to see the caliber of player that these colleges are actually looking for, and you can start to see where you stack up compared to those players. For many of you, that might not be an option or a little bit more difficult than I make it out to be. So there is one other way that these 106 college coaches mention time and time again, and that is with measurable statistics on your metrics. What are the metrics that these college coaches are looking for? Well, there's things like your overhand throw, your pitcher fastball velocity, the difference between your fastball and your changeup, your home to first sprint time, your hitter exit velocity. All those things are super important, and the highest level of Division I programs know what their metrics are for sure, and they were able to share lots of those metrics with me. It varies a lot depending on what level you are going into. But I'm just going to summarize with some quick numbers from the majority of the Division I programs that I heard back from. They're looking for some of the simple things of overhand thrown ball velocity. They're looking for players who are above 65 miles an hour. Pitcher fastball velocity, the starting number that they're looking for is about 63 miles an hour. If you're above 65, that'll definitely get you a look. Hitting exit velocity, they're looking for players that can hit 70 plus miles an hour off of front toss or off of a pitching machine, not off of a tee. And your home to first sprint time, anything below a 2.8, some even said as low as a 2.7, that's what's something that's really going to catch their eye in terms of a standout recruit. And a bonus little element about this is that teams from every single level of play mention that one of the things that they're looking for is just athleticism in their athletes. Now, they want athletes that can not only just play multiple positions, but they want athletes that are strong, quick, powerful, fast, and explosive. The number one way to get this skill set is to get in the weight room as early as you can with a competent and qualified strength coach. These are the types of people that can help you build that base that these college coaches are looking for. And not only will having a healthy level of athleticism help you get recruited, it's also going to help you on the softball field as well. Now that we've gone over the most important thing, which is can you help them win, there's a second and a third quality that they're definitely looking for in their standout recruits. The second one is, are you good for the team culture, and are you the type of a player that this college coach is going to want to work with? Of the 106 college coaches that I heard from, there are some common themes amongst all of them that they're all looking for. They want athletes who are good teammates, who are hardworking, who are coachable, and who are accountable. Those are the four most commonly mentioned things that I heard from these 106 college coaches that they're looking for in a player. Now, not every single coach is going to prioritize all of those four, but if you have enough of those four, so even 3 of the 4 or even 2 of the 4, and you can communicate that, it's going to help you a ton in your recruiting process. Keep in mind that if the college coach doesn't think that you can play at their level, all these things don't really matter. But one of the things that I will also say, you can be a really great player, but if you're a terrible teammate, you don't work hard and you don't hold yourself to a high standard and are accountable, it's going to be very hard for a college coach to want to recruit you, because for them, building a team culture that works is super critical and is one of the most important things that championship teams have. And they're not going to take a risk on a player, no matter how good they are, if they're not good for the team culture going forward. Now that we've gone over the first 2 things, which are can you help them win and are you good for the team culture, let's get into the third one, which is academics. Of these 106 college coaches that I had, the overwhelming majority of them mentioned how they want good students. Now, I just want to explain something about this. Not all coaches put the same priority on this, and some of them even said that they're willing to bend a little bit on the academic requirements because their school doesn't require it. But almost every single one of them said that the better the student, the easier it is on them to recruit them. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason is that in order to play college softball when the season rolls around, you have to be academically eligible. What does that mean? That simply means that you have to have passed enough classes in your school to be able to play on their softball team. If you aren't passing classes, you can't play for their softball team. Plain and simple. So that's why college coaches want kids that have high academics that are coming in, is because they don't want to have to worry about them failing classes. Because if you failed classes and you aren't eligible to play for them, you're effectively useless as a softball player on their roster. That's just the reality of it. Another reason is that in college softball, you have to balance a very heavy workload. You have school, you have workouts, you have practices, you have games, you have team activities, you have travel. If all of those things are severely getting in the way of your academic pursuits and you're not staying eligible for your classes, again, you're not going to be eligible to play for their softball team. And lastly, what makes high achieving academic students so attractive is that they are eligible for academic scholarships. Schools have a limited number of athletic scholarships that they can give, but in many cases, there's almost an unlimited amount of academic scholarship money that is available to high achieving academic students. Just to give you a couple of examples from the research study that I did, I had a couple of schools that responded with some very specific numbers about what students are eligible to get. One of the schools that I heard back from said that if you have a GPA of 3.25, you automatically get $3,500 from the school. If you have a 3.5, you get $5,000. If you have a 4.0, you get $6,000 with an option up to $10,000 based on an SAT score. Another school that responded to me said that if you are coming in with a 3.5, they automatically give you $16,000. And if you come in with a 3.9 or better, you automatically get $18,500. These are the types of numbers that we're talking about for academic students. So get your academics in order because it opens up a ton of scholarship opportunities for you from the academic component. To recap, in the fall of 2023, I reached out to hundreds of college coaches to find out what they are looking for in standout college recruits. Of the 106 responses that I got back, there were 3 overwhelming common themes that I heard across all of them. Number 1, you have to be able to play at their level. Number 2, you have to be good for the team culture. And 3, you have to have your academics in order. We use this information heavily to base the training and the development for our True North Trailblazers college prep program. Everything that we do is designed to train and develop players so that they can not only play at the college level, but to excel at the college level. If you're interested in learning more about our college prep program, or simply just want to learn more about this research project that I went through, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at bradley@truenorthsoftball.com. I'm Coach Bradley T. That's it for now. Until next time, work hard, level up, compete, repeat.